The Babylon 5 show is a science fiction show created in 1994 by J. Michael Straczynski. His idea was to bring about intergalactic politics and the conflicts between various alien species and the Earth in a scientific and fictional manner. The show revolved around the setting up of a station called Babylon 5, whose purpose was to pacify various disputes among the alien forces. There were several alien forces at major play, such as the Nars, the Centauri Republic, and the Menari. The show explores their politics and the thirst for power and continual thereof in a great way, with the commander and force at the station trying to balance it all out of a common purpose: peace. He and Delin go on a journey exploring the hidden disruptors of peace in the galaxy and try to take them down, with their crew and staff members. Before we go into our explanation, we have a very small request. If you like our content, please support us by subscribing to our channel. This is a small click for you, but for us, it means a lot. Thank you. Let's begin.
Guards on the doors, the second level, and the catwalk. Come on, move it. Let's go. Got it.
From script to space station, Babylon's genesis, Michael Straczynski, the curator of the show, has ousted his idea of having a complexity-driven universe under the Babylonian Productions label. This complex universe has a space station named Babylon 5, which serves as a frantic ground with the sole purpose of furthering alliances. It was created in association with Straczynski's Synthetic Worlds Limited and Warner Brothers Domestic Television. The show initially aired on January 26, 1994. It has a total of 5 seasons, with 22 episodes spanning each of them, and aired until 1998. A few military soldiers and a few alien recruits work at the Babylon 5 station. There had been multiple interspecies wars, and the times necessitated a peaceful ground to address the complex problems of varied species. The show revolves around the constant conflicts between races and their desire to remain at the top. There is also a constant struggle to rebuild after what is lost. There is also an ancient old fight that keeps recurring every 1,000 years. The human characters in the show also become of great importance, but also play a major role in resisting the Earth's path from becoming a super dictator. The show encompasses holistic components, with a combination of recording events happening and the aftermath plunged upon the show's characters, and their way of processing these events. It mostly revolved around losses, corruption, redemption, and change. There was an Earth Alliance, where a powerful governmental organization formed by humans conflicted with the Menari warriors. These warriors were comparatively more technologically advanced than humans, and showed absolute wrathful behavior toward the Earth Alliance, to the point that it was on the brink of annihilation. All of this was substantiated due to a misunderstanding, and fueled the event of wiping out the entire humanity from the universe. However, things turned down for a bit, as Menari warriors halted their overthrow of power, instilled immense fear amidst all, and fueled an aggravated desire for peace. The Babylon 5 was a 5-mile-long O'Neill cylinder that rotated on its axis, and was a floating space habitat, built at Lagrange Point 5 of the Epsilon Eridani system, a strategically neutral location. Babylon 5 opened its docking ports in 2258. Captain John Sheridan was an Earth officer and was operating as the command for the station Babylon 5. This guy had a troubling past, but also operated on an absolute sense of justice. His crew was composed of varied species from the entire galaxy, such as the humans, the Menari warriors, and the cunning Centauri Republic. Then there were the Nars, who were quite religious and mysterious, and also the technically advanced spies who loved to be loners. Life on the Babylon 5 was not just confined to diplomatic conversations and fostering alliances with the interspecies. However, the diversity of the population was something to take an interest in. There were ambassadors and traders, but there were also smugglers and refugees present at the station, which accounted for a holistic population. The station's corridors were quite a happening area, as they recorded the majority of happenings, from political machinations to covert operations to assassinations. The only people who always found themselves entangled amidst all the drama were Sheridan and his crew members, who constantly struggled between solving these issues and also handling various powerful governments and ancient forces. There was Michael Garibaldi, who was a wise advisor to Sheridan and was also aided by the strong security officer, Commander Susan Ivanova. The events at the station were just one of the puzzle pieces of the whole puzzle. The creator has been quite careful in the plotting of the story. He was made sure to incorporate immense depth into the show. He weaved a 5,000-year-old conflict between the Shadows, who were responsible for controlling the galaxy passively with their manipulations, and the Vorlons, who were an ancient benevolent race, but quite mysterious. Humans were the most naive among all the races. They knew absolutely nothing of such sorts that took place simultaneously, as they were found between all the conflicts. Sheridan received help, but quite in a passive manner, such as cryptic messages or mysterious figures, talking about the Menari ambassador Thein, who slowly and steadily confined himself in the crew and revealed the secrets and the truth. Sheridan was able to decipher that humans are not just being used by the whole ancient and alien forces, but are detrimental to the whole plan being played out. The Shadows remain busy creating wars and disrupting peace anytime, and the Vorlons absolutely and firmly believed that humans could enable balancing scales for good. Sheridan was initially quite oppressed and shy as a hero. However, as the show progressed, he had a huge turnaround in his personality. He was able to face the enemies with much power and force, and was able to become a symbol of resistance against tyranny. He led the fight against Earth's fall into totalitarianism under the guidance of President Clark. The shows wrapped up well, with the Shadows ending up defeated and providing the audience with a desired closure. However, the future remains uncertain. The show was quite famous amongst its viewers, but wasn't accredited to higher ranks, such as Star Trek. There could be multiple reasons for that, stemming from its dark themes, its complexities, or its serialized format. However, the show did science fiction a huge favor. It set up the base for future renditions. It was able to influence the development of character framing and the mode of narration of the story hugely. The series, though quite old, seemed to have gained popularity again recently amongst audiences. It was quite appreciated for its unique storytelling and themes. A film called Babylon 5: The Road Home was also released last year, and it was a great addition to the Babylon 5 TV series legacy. Moreover, multiple novels, shows, and movies have been made with the adaptation of the TV series, offering new insights and perspectives to the people. The show was quite great, as it incorporated more themes than a usual science fiction TV series. It included themes of politics, corruption, and leadership. Apart from intergalactic conflicts and takeovers, it portrayed the struggles of handling leadership roles beautifully, and their desire for peace for all continuously. The show mainly ended because it was pre-planned by the creator of the show, J. Michael Straczynski. He was clear with the idea for the show and wanted just 5 seasons. It didn't develop over time like the other shows. He had a clear beginning, middle, and end planned for the show, and hence, it ended with the series finale. There was also a hint for the cancellation of the show when, after season 4, its original network, Primetime Entertainment Network PTEN, dissolved. But luckily for the show, TNT took over. So, there was no primary outside factor for the ending of the show. It was already discussed, and it panned out pretty much according to the plan. Exploring the alien landscape. Initially, the show revolves around the introduction of the characters and its storyline, and also provides hints of something bigger brewing behind the scenes. The first episode of the show, Midnight on Firing Line, was a pilot movie, which was a trial episode, and it ended up being quite successful for the creators. In this episode, we see Captain John Sheridan, who is an Earth officer. He is currently quite annoyed by the whole war going on between the Earth and Menari. As soon as he joined Babylon 5 and replaced the old commander, Jeffrey Sinclair, he was met with a hostile staff. His personality probably throws off the station staff, and also encounters a clash with Michael Garibaldi, who is the chief of staff. There is also a lot of politics going on at the station, and that becomes quite apparent when a Narn freighter gets attacked by the Centauri warship. The Narns are quite religious, in contrast to the Centauri Republic, who are quite deceptive. The latter were accused by the Narns of exercising piracy. Then came the new commander of the station, Babylon 5, trying his best to mediate the differences between the two parties. Then we witness an alien artifact near the station. Sheridan, meanwhile, was busy with Thein, a Menari ambassador, discussing a secretive operation, and then suddenly, the artifact outside the station popped off, leaving behind a secretive message that would play a bigger role in the future. We get to see the diversity of Babylon 5. Various ambassadors from different alien races show up. From the cunning Centauri Republic force, we see Londo Menari, who is a great politician, but quite charming too. The Narn's ambassador, Jakar, was introduced to the troops by Garibaldi and is seen fuming, trying to avenge his tribe against the Centauri. Dr. Stephen Franklin, the station's chief medical officer, who has immense knowledge of alien physiology, also joins in. There is power play very much present. However, everything is balancing itself currently. Later, we see that a Centauri diplomat got murdered, and this fueled conflicts and accusations amongst everyone. Sheridan, again, joins in and tries to pacify the arguments. Thein, again present beside Sheridan, warns him of impending danger while figuring out the cryptic message left behind by the weird artifact. Lita Alexander, a telepath, arrives at the station seeking help and hiding from a dangerous organization. She belonged to the Psi-Corps, and their telepathic abilities were feared by many. To earn their trust, she revealed to the station that the Psi-Corps was trying to control things at the station by plotting events. Sheridan gets involved and tries to figure out the loopholes in the Psi-Corps organization, both in legal and political contexts, and also takes Lita under his cover. In a very turning side demeanor, Jakar and Londo's relationship seemed to grow bounds, but in the form of hate, fueling their prospects of future conflicts. Delenn is seen judging Sheridan's character. Sheridan is busy saving the world. A plague has spread, and he is trying everything to prevent it spreading. A Centauri shipment contained a weapon and was accidentally released, which led to the whole drama. Sheridan knew he had to work things out with Menari to combat this deadly plague. Sheridan also doubted Londo's ability to hide something. However, his demeanor remained ever ambiguous. This leads to the necessity of including diplomacy at the station. On the other hand, we witnessed Dr. Franklin working tirelessly to develop a cure for the plague. Garibaldi became successful in getting evidence against the Centauri, who were trying to use his weapon against their nemesis, the Nars. The season ends with a banging two-part episode. It is discovered in this episode that it is the shadows that are trying to disrupt the peace between the Menari and the Earth. It is Garibaldi who discovers a weird shadow device on the station. It was David Warner, their ambassador, who was hiding it, and coincidentally, Sheridan had sided with him in confidence, which led to a surge of suspicion over him too. Delenn also warns Sheridan about Warner's plans to start a war. Sheridan confronts Warner, and the latter activates the device that makes the defenses of the station futile, but Garibaldi successfully stops Warner from doing so. Meanwhile, on the other hand, a Menari cruiser was hijacked, and Sheridan led a rescue mission for the same, which was quite dangerous. Facing Lockley's attack brought Sheridan its challenges, as his forces were quite outnumbered. However, Sheridan somehow manages to get all the Menari hostages to safety. He forced Lockley to surrender. Ivanova, the second in command of Sheridan, had gotten severely injured in the process. But when Sheridan returns to the station as a victor, he is approached by Delenn, who is before him with a brutal truth. Ivanova is a sleeper agent, a telepath of the Psi-Corps. In the final minutes of the episode, we witness a huge shadow vessel hiding outside Babylon 5 in a cloak. The season ends with multiple questions and hints about the future rendezvous of the players. Meet the crew and creatures of Babylon 5, John Sheridan. This character was played by Bruce Boxleitner and is the main character of the show Babylon 5. He holds up the show on his shoulders, and every viewer of this show could testify to the same. When he was appointed as the commander of the station, initially he was reluctant in his actions and shy, but as the show progressed, we witnessed him as a man of principles and strong values. He is rough on the outside, but he harbors deep compassion and a strong sense of justice on the inside. He is always present whenever a conflict arises and manages the mediation neutrally, which shows his calmness and strong presence of mind. In almost every episode, we witness him forced to adapt to varied leadership roles. Sheridan not only sails through dirty politics at the station, but also handles political disputes and maintains peace and harmony. He is brave and strong, as he faced the strongest of enemies without fear, such as President Clark of Earth. He also became the symbol of resistance against tyranny. He is also a great source of inspiration for his peers and many alien ambassadors, as he portrays his strong moral values and unwavering stand in all situations. He also had a great, loyal crew in his support. In the latter scenes of the TV series, we witnessed Sheridan reaching the apex, taking up the role of president of the Interstellar Alliance, which was newly formed. Here, he was equipped with proper politics, and he faced many new struggles, but nothing was quite impossible for him. He also learned a few lessons the hard way, such as the importance of making the right decisions when the consequences did not turn out according to his desires. He also never backed down from making sacrifices, no matter how hard. Despite the challenges, Sheridan remains committed to his ideals, striving to create lasting peace and a brighter future for the galaxy. Delenn. This character was played by Mira Furlan. She was the Menari ambassador in the show Babylon 5. Initially in the show, she maintained quite a mysterious personality, holding various secrets to her heart. However, as the show progressed, she became a very important figure in the series. She is a woman with deep knowledge of the galaxy, and is very much able to hide all that she has gone through behind a mask of calmness. It is her mysterious demeanor and behavior that confused Sheridan a lot, but they also pushed him forward to discover things at play. When the show moves ahead with its episodes, Delenn and her true purpose are finally revealed. There is a great council, which is a minute part of the Menari, but serves a different purpose altogether: peace. She has a keen eye and was able to identify Sheridan in the first place as a true person and someone who could play a major role in combating a fight against the shadows. Thereafter, she becomes Sheridan's mentor and puts up various hints and clues for Sheridan to figure out and propel him into his destiny. Though Sheridan got tired sometimes and also became frustrated with all the creepiness, Delenn's constant faith and belief in him bolstered his spirits and made him able to continue on the path. She, though outwardly peaceful and stable, is, on the contrary, quite conflicted on the inside. Her past troubles her constantly, and the sacrifices she has gone through, however, do not stop her from becoming a strong pillar in the whole universe and doing things necessary to save a peaceful future for the galaxy. Elizabeth Lockley. She enters the show in the final season, i.e. Season 5. At this time, the politics of the show were quite upsetting, and there were major conflicts present. She replaced John Sheridan and brought with herself a stark leadership personality that was something new for the audience. She was an Earth officer, just like Sheridan, and owned up to the persona of a soldier. She is highly focused and concentrated on order, peace, and security, and her ideals clashed with Sheridan's heavily. She even showed contempt for his concept of maintaining peace with the Menari. She was also quite tough and rough on the outside, and had quite a soft side on the side. She had deep love and compassion for everyone on her crew, and she protected them heavily at all costs. She balanced the conflicts and different opinions between the Earth and the station's needs, and struggled regarding the same sometimes. She is quite assertive, and a good decision maker, which would probably make up for her biggest strengths. She was also quite committed to her duty and her job, although we got to see very little of her, and that significantly reduced the possibility of knowing her better. She was a great character in the show.
Bad day. And I'm in a really bad mood.
Michael Garibaldi. He is the protector and the strongest character in Babylon 5 security. Though quite cynical, he was a man of loyalty and his word. He maintained a strong friendship with Sheridan and also became his greatest confidant. He undertook the role of secretly spying on the activities at the station because he valued his ideals very much. He was loyal to his job as well. He didn't mind working on the back if it meant all things remained in peace and order. He would count on threats just for the sake of it. We also got to witness his past, sometimes through flashbacks, and it wasn't pleasant. He cared deeply about his peers and did not mind going out of his way to protect them. He and Sheridan developed such a heartwarming camaraderie based solely on mutual respect and trust, which is also the sole reason for Babylon's peace. He is also quite resourceful. He always knew about everything and everyone, and connecting dots rarely got him time. His graph as a character grew too much in the show, with several changes in his personality.
DNA, Vance. This artifact is composed of living tissue. This is organic.
Dr. Stephen Franklin. He is the chief medical officer at Babylon 5. He had a unique personality, always having hope and looking on the positive side of things. He advocates for peace heavily and likes to explore new things. He also stands by the fact that everyone receives justice. He is a man of extreme knowledge, having learned not just about the physicality of things, but also about the psychological aspects of alien species. He also has a bit of favoritism towards the aliens, and likes a world where everyone loves peacefully with each other. This is apparent from his attempts to pacify the differences among various alien species. His passion for medicine and his dedication to his patients solidified Dr. Stephen Franklin as a vital member of Babylon 5, a man who embodies the spirit of exploration and the pursuit of a brighter future. The Nars. These are an alien species coming from the desert planet of Nars. Earlier, the Centauri Republic had suppressed them for a long time, which led to their oppression. The Narns are quite renowned for wanting to regain their honor and maintain it. They also do not hold trust in humans because they believe humans are aiding the Centauri secretly. Though small in size, they are a force to be fought with. Over time, they have developed quite shrewd techniques to overpower their opponents. They have the speed and agility that shock the enemy, and they also cloak themselves using advanced technology. They also have deep traditional values and a strong caste system, with warriors holding the highest significance. Their ambassador, Jakar, also had these traits. They were mostly good species, however. Their thirst for vengeance against the Centauri sometimes blinded them and led them to tread upon unknown paths.
It confirms everything we have been hearing. Why else would Delenn come?
The Menari. The Menari are a mysterious species and quite technologically advanced at that. They were a part of a civil war earlier, which almost wiped them out. When they came out of this traumatic event, they approached a new side of philosophy, spiritual philosophy. Though they believe in new ideologies, they do possess high-level weapons and tools to fight, which they deem to be the legacy of their past. Their warships are among the most powerful in the galaxy, and their cloaking technology is also quite good. They are ruled by the Grey Councils, who are mysterious and ancient beings. Delenn serves their announcements and is stationed at Babylon 5. Their approach is diplomatic over aggression. Although peaceful, their vengeance against the Centauri did alter their image amongst other races for being quite strong and having a sense of fear. This species also played a major role in shaping the dynamics of the galaxy, maybe not actively, but passively for sure. The Centauri Republic. This species had been in power for a very long time. However, when the station was set up, we usually saw their proper dropping. They are now a corrupt force, grappling to stay in power. They have a rich, aristocratic history and have luxurious indulgences. They are good at negotiation, but lack morals and values. They do not back down from incorporating manipulations and deceit to get their way. Londo Mollari, though charismatic, often sides with their agendas aligning with those of the Republic. They also have a lot of internal politics, which shows up in their economic graph as a decline. Their army used to be one of the top-notch militias out there, but currency is quite a gone case in comparison to the other forces out at play. They are also quite dismissive and arrogant towards the other races, which is a substantial reason for the discord with others, especially with Nars. Their desperation to remain in power is what leads them to make disastrous choices and dangerous alliances. Their alliance with the Shadows, who are heading to destroy the galaxy, is also quite concerning. Is Babylon 5 for you? Though the show ended in 1998, it still holds up its repute for being a remarkable show in the science fiction genre. One of the main pros of the show is its serialized storytelling. The show was unlike other science fiction shows and had a grand story planned out over its 5 seasons. This enabled the show to explore its politics, friendships, relationships, and various secrets and mysteries. The series has themes of war, corruption, politics, and religion, unlike any other. It requires the audience to pay attention and remain vigilant to keep track of all the developments. The show also has a great cast for its characters. Every character has their journey, their personal development, and their dilemmas to resolve. It keeps the audience hooked, as one gets to witness varied perspectives in detail, and allows the viewers to develop a personal point of view for each of them too. The show also didn't hesitate to show the dilemmas in making choices revolving around their moral compass, which engaged viewers' compassion and acceptance more. The series also had great visual effects, though they might seem quite old in today's era. For that time, Babylon 5 spaceships were a treat to watch. Also, the visuals weren't just there in the show. They were present in a way and convincing enough to narrate the story. Marvelous verdict. Babylon 5 does hold up to its reputation. Its visuals, character assimilation, representations, and conversations are all the treat to watch. It is also quite great to see all the various alien species, whose details are top-notch. They have in-depth traits and characters, and they all differ from each other. The power play and politics in the show are outstanding. One gets very confused multiple times, trying to figure out a character's stand in the situation. Delenn and Sheridan's duel, and Sheridan's and Garibaldi's friendship were great duos present in the show, which made all the incidents quite engaging. The show was a perfect balance of all the themes, which helped it reach a good rating amongst its viewers. And if you liked our content, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to us if you haven't already. Have a good one, and be safe. Thanks, everyone.